In the last tutorials, we talked about how to add a video page. Now we're going to talk about how to add a quiz page. Now, if I add another topic, let's go ahead and name this quiz section. I'm going to drag it out so it's not a sub-menu or a subtopic, and then I'm going to click on Add a Page. Now I'm going to come over to the quiz section, click on Quiz, and then hit Add Selected Page. Go ahead and name this quiz, hit Next Step, and then come in and add my questions. Now if I click on Add Questions, it'll give me a list of all the questions that are both Flash compatible and mobile compatible. Right now, the only pages that actually work with mobile are the true and false and multiple choice. However, if I add other types of questions, those will also have alternate mobile contents types of questions that you can add, so if the learner is on a mobile device, they still get presented with a question, and so you can still present them with the same type of content. Now once these pages or these quiz pages get added into the Flash side of things, they will automatically get updated into your account. For now, I'm going to go ahead and add a true or false question. Once I do that, I give it a quiz ID. Now this quiz ID will show up inside of your LMS. It is required, so I'm going to go ahead and just type in question 1. Then I'm going to go ahead and type in the question itself. Actually, it's a true or false, so let's go ahead and just state it as a true or false question. And then come down and decide if it's the correct response is true or false. And then come to next step number 2, and then override the feedback and type in correct feedback, incorrect feedback, try again feedback as well. If I want to use the global feedback, I just simply leave that unchecked. And then I can decide how many points this is worth and what the objective ID is as well. And once I'm done with that, click Done Editing Questions, and then we'll add it to my pool of questions here. If I want to add another question, I can do that, and let me go ahead and choose multiple choice here and then click on Done. With the multiple choice, just type in my question, hit Next Step, and then type in the possible distractors, which I can randomize by selecting on Randomize. And then I can also provide specific feedback for each possible distractor. Now, I just simply select which one is correct out of my different distractors by selecting on the correct checkbox. I can also provide specific feedback for this question by clicking on Override Feedback, or leave it default so it would actually use the global feedback, and do the same thing with my tracking. If I click Done Editing Question, it will also add that question to my pool of questions. If I have a pool of questions, let's say of about 30, I can come down to Use Subset of Questions and decide to only use a certain amount of those questions. If I then hit Next Step and come to my basic settings, I can decide if this is a review or a test, if I want to randomize the questions, if I want to show results or the score, if I actually want to report the score or not, if I want to include a review or not, and then, let me scroll back up here, and then if I want to include a retake button, or if I want to number the questions, as well as have a quiz introduction. If I select quiz introduction, I can decide what I want the introduction to this quiz to be. If I come down to the next section under LMS settings, I can also decide how I want this course to be reported. If I want the entire course to be reported as complete to the learning management system, then I can select pass or fail based on score, or complete for finishing quiz. If I just want this page to be counted as complete if they've passed or failed or have completed it, I can do that as well. I can also adjust the passing score, the minimum score, maximum score, and if I'm adjusting the SCORM 2004 status, then I can go ahead and select if it's completed if passed or incomplete if failed. Hitting Next Step will now take me to my global feedback. This actually allows me to not have to type in feedback for every single question and just use some global feedback instead. Now it comes to the results page where I can allow the user to print the results, send an email, and or just decide which email that email is going to go to as well. And then come to the advanced settings and add some narration text for this quiz as well. So that is how I add a quiz. Now in the next tutorial, we're going to talk about alternate mobile content for the pages that are not mobile enabled yet, and then how to actually use those pages for mobile as well using the alternate mobile content field. After that, we'll talk about how to preview the course.